I told you so.
Yeah.
Did you like the way they sing "O Canada" at the Edmonton games in the stands?
Oh, that's fantastic.
They had the opera singer surrounded by everybody wearing one of these,
Yeah.
singing "O Canada." Oh, it's just
Well, he kicks it off and he
Yeah.
goes like a verse and then he backs out and then the whole arena takes over.
Yeah, it is so cool.
Yeah, it is.
And they came out and they scored, the Oilers scored 66 seconds into the first period. I thought they were going to blow the roof off the Coliseum. But Florida came back, and Florida took a 3-1 lead. I thought, and it got really quiet in there. But as long as there's time left on the clock, Edmonton is so dangerous. And at the end of the day, and I sat there and watched the whole thing intently. And at the end of the day, the Oilers beat the Florida Panthers at their own game. Edmonton came out early in the third period down 3-1, and they hit everything that was wearing a white jersey. And they hit them, they forechecked them into the boards. They hit them in their own end. They cleared the traffic in front of the net. And the Oilers came back and scored 2 goals and tied the game at 3-3. And then they won it in overtime. Leon Draisaitl, who scored 66 seconds into the first period, scored the game winner in overtime on a razor-thin cross-the-slot pass from Connor McDavid. That's a huge win. Now, series over? Hell no. Because I'll tell you, now, Florida got beat at their own game. Florida's whole game is I'm forechecking you into the parking lot. I'm going to screw you up. You can't get your offense going. But they got out-hit. And Edmonton had 47 shots on Sergei Bobrovsky, which is an amazing amount considering how physical the Florida Panthers play in front of him. Oh, great. I just thought, I thought it was a great, great series. And you sitting there drinking your Molson's Canadian, what'd you think?
Well, like you said, the opening, the national anthem, they bring out the Stanley Cup there out on the ice and all that. It's just great theater. And you just love seeing the Edmonton fans. They're all fired up. Now, here's a technical question, because I know in hockey you have multiple lines, right? Like 3, maybe 4.
4 lines, 12 forwards.
Okay. So but will they intermingle some of those lines at times, right? It's not like a strict thing.
For the most part, the 3 are together. McDavid, Draisaitl's line, that's your pairing. And then they'll have the second line that'll probably have the big goal scorer, Evander Kane, etc. Sometimes you interchange them, but what Edmonton does, what Chris Knobloch, the coach, does, is he'll short shift the second and third line so he can get McDavid and Draisaitl back on the ice in matchups that they want. Because when this thing starts, here's Edmonton's number 1 line, and Florida's going to throw their checkers out there. So McDavid and Draisaitl and those guys, they do their minute 45-second shift. They come off, second line comes on. And if it's crunch time later in the game, after that second line does its shift, Knobloch might turn around and send McDavid back out there. And then sometimes Florida gets caught with the wrong matchups on the ice. You don't want to have that happen when McDavid's on the ice, when he gets that sucker cranked up coming out of his zone and roaring through center ice. The game is big, the game is fast, the game is physical, but the game is also a chess match.
Oh, yeah.
Try to create the mismatches in certain lines. So that's a great hockey question in terms of how they do what they do.
Well, to go a step further with it, when you have 3 guys on a line, do they play the role of like a center and 2 wings? And is the center like a point guard that distributes, or do they just work cooperatively, the 3 of them, whatever works?
They work cooperatively, but if you've got a center, you want the puck on his stick while guys are cutting through the slot, or Draisaitl is off at a bad angle to the side of the net. I've watched so intensely Edmonton the last 2 years. They whistle passes through the slot, through the traffic, through all the defensemen, etc., and they get it onto Draisaitl's stick. He gets a shot off so bloody quick, it's unbelievable.
How does it get through all that traffic?
I concur. That doesn't always get through, but it gets through. He scores so many goals from bad angles, and he's got such a quick release, such a flick, and he moves. That's the other thing. He's not stationary. He's here, but as the defensemen shift, he jumps into the slot in front of the net. As the defensemen are moving, he's moving, and McDavid sights it, puts it on his stick, and he just tips it.
Amazing.
He's unique. I saw him when he first came into the league. He's from Germany. He came here. I saw him at the sports arena. He started his career, he might have been maybe 20 for Bakersfield in the American Hockey League. And he came and he played here against the San Diego Gulls a couple times the first 3 weeks of his career, and Edmonton brought him up. And I saw him very early. It might have been the opening home game of the season for the Gulls, or maybe the first week. I said, boy, this guy is gifted. This guy can fly. This guy is crafty. And it was gone. And now he's a superstar up there. McDavid is legendary. Draisaitl's right there with him.
Yeah, cool. I mean, I'm happy for Edmonton. But, it's funny how, on the political level, there's a lot of Canada-America friction right now these days. But I would like to see Edmonton win, I mean, I'm not hating on the American team, Florida, but the Canada hasn't won the Cup, you said, since what, 93?
93, the Guy Carbonneau Montreal Canadiens against the LA Kings.
Yeah, so, and the Oilers are sort of like West Coast, kind of, sort of. So I'm going to count them as a team I'm rooting for, too.
Fashion critics out there, Hockey Hotline is open. I'm sure somebody's got an opinion about what I'm wearing, why I'm wearing it.
Okay, move your microphone off to the side. I want to break this down. Look at, you tie the strings like a bow tie. I've never seen anyone actually do it that way.
That's what they do in hockey.
They do?
Yes.
Oh, well, they call them sweaters in hockey, though, right? Don't they? The jersey?
Jersey sweaters, yeah.
Okay.
This is the crust.
Okay, well, yeah. All right.
I'll be glad to educate you anytime over Molson's Canadian. Hey, by the way, we got one other hockey story here.